Okay, congratulations, Wick. I thought you did such a great job in this. And I want to just get this one right out of the way. You look phenomenal as a brunette. This is, everyone was concurring. Like, honestly? Now, tell me a little bit about, you making the change, because that's a big change for you.
Yeah, it was a big change, but it was, it was important for the character. With these comic books, they are these Bibles that have been around for so long, and there are so many devout followers that for me to go in there and change a character just because I have blonde hair is not right. And I actually had a security guard come up to me that I work with on my show and said, "For your own safety, you need to dye your hair brown." But he was a huge Green Lantern fan, and anyway, so it was really cool to have a different hair.
But they were really meticulous about it. It's not like you just go to the, get a L'Oreal color. Like, you had to...
No, we tried 14 different shades. We did I flew out for like 3 different weekends. I was still shooting Gossip Girl, so every weekend I would fly to New Orleans and try different shades of brown. And so we ended up getting just all the right mixture of hues. I mean, there's a ton of different shades of brown within that head.
Well, it worked. It worked. It looked fantastic. Now, how Green Lantern savvy were you before you even got the role, or did you know anything?
I had never heard of Green Lantern, which I think is really exciting because it's such a terrific comic. He's such a wonderful superhero because he's very human. He's not a Superman, and he doesn't want this responsibility. And I think he's a lot easier to relate to in a lot of ways because he's very flawed. And so, when I heard about the comics, I thought, okay, well, this is either going to be really awesome or it could be really wrong, a guy with a magical ring. But, the possibilities are infinite. He can project anything he wants out of this ring. And the fact that he doesn't want this responsibility. And he's also a bit of a hero in real life. He's a fighter pilot, and so is Carol. So they're real life heroes almost overshadow, the heroes that they are in this supernatural world.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was exciting because you get to introduce a beloved comic to a whole new generation, which my nephews don't know anything about it, and now they're going to get to fall in love with a whole new story, and
that's cool.
Pretty cool.
That's for sure cool for you. And Carol's such a strong character as well, and I understand. I mean, they saw you in The Town, which I thought you did such a great job in, but she's no Carol Ferris. I mean, that was a completely different. So what do you think it was that they saw in that to let you do a role like this, because really you were very good.
Well, that's a huge testament to Warner Brothers that they saw The Town and wanted me to be the girl in a superhero franchise movie, because that was such a dark, twisted character. But they don't make films that make money and then films that gain accolades. They try to make good films across the board, and they're such an incredible studio that way. They have such integrity, and the fact that they saw The Town and wanted me for this was so flattering, and spoke to their vision of what sort of movie they wanted to have. And I don't know, I think that it's pretty strange for me to be, a fighter pilot and, run a business. But, I love the challenge, and I had so much fun doing this.
Yeah,
but it's great to work off of Ryan, too, because we were very much challenging each other and sparring back and forth. So having that sort of dynamic helped make me feel like this empowered businesswoman, because you have a strong man to combat with.
Yeah, right. And then, let's talk about Ryan Reynolds. I mean, because the guy's so great. I just love him. And, why do you think he made the perfect Green Lantern?
I think that, he does everything with such charm and heart, and, you really connect with him. I've never met a person that doesn't like Ryan, and that's pretty unbelievable, because, a lot of dudes don't like other guys, or women will like this guy, but men aren't a fan, and the other way around. But he is just disarmingly wonderful. He's strong, and he's powerful, but he's also very sweet and vulnerable, and to play a superhero like this, somebody who can save the world, but somebody who doesn't want to, somebody who's had a really horrible past, somebody who is very broken by their surroundings, but has to put that aside to then save the planet, even though he doesn't want to. You have to have a very complex person, and I don't know. I think Ryan's our without Ryan, we wouldn't have the
Yeah,
the
no, you
Green
did, you did a
Lantern.
very, very good job because it's hard to step into a role like that, especially when there's so many fans, you know. And I know you were at Comic-Con and stuff, but it must be, you know, rewarding for you to sit in front of those 5 million fans and then they're like clapping at the 10 minutes that they get to see. Is there pressure, you know, when you go into something like this and there is such a huge fan base?
Oh, there's an incredible amount of pressure. You know, before, when you first open that script, you think, okay, am I going to take this on? Because there are so many people that I am going to either excite or disappoint, and probably both, you know, and not just me, I mean, you know, the whole production, because you have such a devout fan base going into it. But, you know, it was so rewarding going to WonderCon and Comic-Con and, you know, seeing the audience's reaction to this, because they are very honest and they will grill you. So for us to see the 10 minutes of footage, the first time we saw it was in front of them. So here we are feeling like rock stars back there because everybody's screaming, yes, this is wonderful.
Yeah. Vindication.
Yes, it was very, very exciting. So it was like the best audience to see it with is people dressed up in Green Lantern suits.
Exactly.
Make you feel very good about yourself.
Now, there was a little action for you, but I do understand that you had to go up in that Matrix rig. Like, I'm sorry, but I would be puking all over the place.
Yeah, and it didn't look nearly as challenging on your body as it was. You know, it was when I was floating, and it looks like, oh, that's so easy and enjoyable. It's the hardest thing ever. You need all this core strength. I trained for months to just look like I'm floating effortlessly in the sky.
Yeah, I can imagine. Fun though.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
After you got used to it.
Oh, it was amazing.
It's you know, it must be so wonderful for you to be able to take on these different roles and still be able to do a show like Gossip Girl and do that. Like, you must be like so, you know, so happy about what's going on with your career.
I feel very lucky. You know, I get to do so much. You know, to get to do my show and also get to do wonderful films like this and play such different characters. I couldn't feel happier or luckier.
No, it's great, and you deserve it. Now, I understand that you are a Harry Potter fan.
It's not normal.
How are you feeling about the last movie coming?
I actually refuse to see part 1 because I'm in denial mode that it's done. But now that the best part of this Green Lantern connection is with Warner Brothers, I get to watch 1 and 2 together. They're doing a screening for me. So it's going to be like a 6-hour screening. I'm going to dress up as Hermione.
Have you told
And bake
Emma
Harry
how
Potter
you
treats.
feel about this?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I may feel uncomfortable around me.
It's very sad that it's coming to an end.
Don't talk about it.
Okay, we won't talk about it. We'll talk
It's
Green
not
Lantern.
coming to
You
an
did a
end.
terrific job in this.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You will make all fans proud. I
Thank
can
you
tell
so
you that
much.
much. And
Thank
it's
you.
always lovely to talk
Thank
to you.
you. Nice to talk
Thanks,
to you
Blake.
too.
Okay,
Take
take
care.
care. Have a great day.